Hello,
Hey.
my name is Massimo and I live here in Torri Superiore.
I'm Lucila and I also live here in Torri Superiore and have been for the past 25 years.
Wow, long time. Okay, so we start with the first question. We want to know what is the essential or what are the most important things in your life? What would you say?
Apart our couple. I spent here half my life. I've been living here for 25 years also. So I feel part of this project that is a renovation of this abandoned village with friends, working communal, connected with other community all over the world. And so what is the essential? The essential is to find a nice view for the future in the disaster of the historical moment that we are passing through. Yeah.
For me, what's essential for me is to be honest and true to oneself. I really appreciate people who are themselves and express what they really want to do and say in life. And that's what I encourage my children to do. Look for their own, look for their own talent and perspective in life and try to express it. And I think that's what we're trying to do here in Torre, to encourage people to express their talents and share it with the others.
Nice, thank you. And so the second we ask, what is living together for you? So what does it imply? What does it contain? What does it mean, living together?
You first this time?
Living together is like a constant gymnastic of social relations because you can never not communicate. You're always in contact with the others, and so you're constantly experiencing, exchanging, sharing stimuli on different levels. And sometimes it's very tiring, sometimes it's very nurturing, but it doesn't allow you to sit on what you are and go back. So I think it's a positive exercise for anyone. I see some of my friends who live alone, and I think it's not helping them. So I really appreciate being exposed to the other residents of Torre and also to people like the guests and the volunteers like you. And so constantly keeping moving and dynamic. And that's for me one of the important points in community. And also, of course, sharing the material part because it's a really intelligent way to cut down on consumption and costing. Because the more you share, the less you buy or consume.
And for me, I was thinking living together means living in a collective. For me, is not the answer. Is not perhaps you don't like. I don't like my life, so I try to live with my friends. Doesn't work. It's not enough. It's more a tools. So to live together for me after a first moment that is nice because it's a lot of social life when you live with other people. Then you reach the point that what you want to do of your life. If you work in a group, you have a tool to reach your goal. That is very powerful. That has cost because you have less private life. Like Lucila said before, you have a mirror in front of you 25 hours per day. And can be stressful sometimes, also a lot of joy in other moments. But the things for me is really that is a tool to go further. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you for sharing interesting messages for us. And so we come to the last. It's a bit more concrete, maybe. What is the fundament of your community here, like of this eco-village? What does people bring together here, or what unites you here?
This time, I think in the beginning
Start.
is the village that call us. We are not a group of friends that was looking for a place where to move. We met here one by one from the few founders in the beginning that they organized the project, but the feeling for a lot of us was that the village was looking for people rather than people looking for a village. And so in the beginning, the reason to stay here was really linked with the history of this bunch of stones and ruins in the beginning. And rebuilding the village like a metaphor or building your new life, these two things together. And then I can say that it's also daily life, sharing with others, and for me one of the most one of the biggest goal we reach is see children grow up in a situation like this, with 5, 10 open house where they can pass from one to the others, a lot of adults that they can take care or organize time for them, and other children were always to stay together, playing together all the time, sleeping together, all in one house, all in the other house. So for me this was one of the most wonderful experience, and I think that it's part of our group to see the children growing up here. Yeah.
So yeah, for me it also has to do with preserving the memory of what this place was, because it was just a lovely village abandoned for 60, 70 years, and it was falling to ruin. So the message from this specific eco-village is that you don't necessarily need to build new and use up good farmland to build a new community, but especially in Italy, Spain, in the Mediterranean area, it's probably more sustainable to go and look for abandoned places and bring life back into those. Even though it may be more difficult and probably more expensive than building from scratch, but I think it's a very important cultural mission to save and give life back to places that had been residential for communities for many hundred years. And that's, for me, it's a very strong message that you can recycle, not necessarily build new.
Nice. Thank you very much.
You're
So we
welcome.
now came to our end, and we just ask in the end if you have, for example, some life missions or like sentences, messages for us 3 young people traveling, what you would like to tell us, or if you'd like to add something at the end, just feel free to.
The most important thing is to get along with the others and to learn how to cooperate without getting into a conflict. Once you learn how to make the best use of the energy that is with the conflict, I think life can become very different.
Okay, thank you.
A message. A message for young people. I think we are living in a moment where we don't know what will be the future. So it's a moment where it's important that people start to design their future from the bottom. The future of a society is not possible to design by yourself. You have to do with other people. And so it's important to create community all over, using the word community in a very large, how to say, community is not just the eco-village, but it can be the place where you live in town, the group of friends around in the area. But stay with people, design, think about the future, looking what are the problems in this moment, what you can solve tomorrow, with a long-term vision, and think that it's not anymore the time just to dream, it's now the time to realize. It's tens of years that we dream the new world. Now we have to start to realize, so we have to go on towards our goal, even if sometimes it's difficult. All the groups that start get in difficult moment. In this moment, we need groups that stay together even if they pass through a difficult moment.
And it's possible.
It's a good optimistic view in the end. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Bye.